Hey, what's going on? I'm back and I feel much better today. It is 6:30 a.m. I'm back at the job site. I'm gonna finish these forms today. They are still right there where I left them yesterday. Nobody came last night and did any work on them. Can you believe that? Son of a gun. Yesterday was a rough day. I didn't realize how bad it was until I left. And Darren and I were here and we would take a break and it just did not help. Like, we would sit down for 5-10 minutes, get up, and feel no better than we did when we sat down. I'd been down and driving down the stake and get up and I'd get dizzy and it was bad. So I told Darren, you know what, let's go. It's not worth it. So we left. I wanted to buy a saw because Darren's broke. So I said, well, I'm gonna need a saw tomorrow. So I went to Home Depot to get a saw, as you guys know. But before I got to Home Depot, I went to go get some Gatorade and something to rehydrate, some electrolyte drinks. And I passed up the gas station like twice. Like, I look at my GPS, and I'm like, all right, let's see where it's at. I mean, I'm very familiar with this town. And I drive towards the gas station and I'd forget to make a turn. And anyway, once I got to the gas station, I got the Gatorade, got the electrolyte drinks. I sat there for a while. I drank a couple of them, just downed them, and just sat there for a while, got some salted peanuts, get some salt in me. And 30 minutes later, man, it just all came back. Like, whoa, okay, I know where it's just, I did not realize how my brain was totally not working as normal. So be extremely careful. And it was 5 p.m. yesterday when I was getting those drinks, and it was it was like 97, but it felt like 103. So when we were here all day, like around 2 p.m., I'm thinking it was 105 or hotter. It was it was pretty bad. But anyway, so this is the saw that I got. This is a 6.5 inch Milwaukee battery powered M18. I was gonna get the 7.5, but they didn't have it, and then I'm glad that I didn't, because I want to have a small saw. Plus, Milwaukee also has a warm drive, battery powered, just a big saw that I think I want to get. So that's going to give me a small saw and a really big one, and that should be all I need. So anyway, I'm going to knock this son of a gun out today, and I'm going to take you guys for a ride. Let's go. All right, so you see me drive stakes, or not stakes, but nails, sometimes from the inside out. If the board is twisted, you cannot straighten it out when you drive the nails like from the outside in, like you're supposed to. So I drive them from the inside, because from the inside they really grab, so I can kind of twist the board like I need it to be. That's why I do it. All right, so I haven't finished the sides because we have a ramp here in the front. The ramp needs to be lower, so I'm gonna do the form in the front first, and then I'm gonna cut the sideboards to butt up to it. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I haven't braced that side, I only braced the joints. I'm gonna do this first. I'm not gonna do the entire thing because I need to leave an opening for the guys that are gonna do the grade work to be able to get in there and work. So I'm only gonna do that 2x4 for now, and then I'm gonna finish off that corner, and then I'm gonna come around the corner and come in and maybe about 4 feet or so. You always wanna finish your corners completely so that you don't ever have the risk of your forms moving on you, because we don't have batter boards. So I know a lot of you are gonna be like, well, that's why you're supposed to use batter boards. Well, I understand the use for batter boards. However, if you brace your corners, everything's perfect. You don't have to worry about it. All right, so change of plans. I went ahead and ran these two forms, this one and that one. I finished them off. I ran them wild. What that means is I ran them longer than they need to be, and I verified they're perfectly parallel, both of them. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull from the back to the front and mark exactly how long it needs to be on both sides. Then I'm gonna shoot the level for the ramp, and then I'm gonna finish it off with a 2x4 here in the front. I'm gonna leave the center open for the so the guys can get in and do their ditches, and then when we come back later, we'll close up that form and then do the rebar and everything else. All right, so after I pull my dimension, I'm gonna add 1.5 inches to that dimension. Then I'm gonna use my level and I'm gonna mark all the way up. Just make sure that line is plumb. And you'll see why here shortly. All right, now that I have my line 1.5 inches beyond where it's gonna be, I'm gonna nail this 2x4 to that line. Okay, and that gives me 1.5 inches. I'm still 1.5 inches away from where I need to be. And then when I come with the form, I'm just gonna nail the form inside of here. And this 2x4 makes sure that I'm perfectly plumb. It's also gonna allow me to nail this 2x4 to that, and it's gonna make it a lot easier for me to put a nail here or whatever, so I can pull my string line. All right, so the front is done. The only thing left I have to do is brace this form. I got it perfectly straight now. I just need to add braces, and then I'm done. I'm ready to get the guys in here to start digging this place up. So let's brace this thing up so we can go home. All right, so we got this form perfectly lined up. Well, actually all of them, even the front. One thing I didn't point out is after I got done putting in all the pins, I went and just put water bottles in there upside down. That's gonna keep somebody from falling on them. Well, that doesn't keep you from falling on it, but if it does, at least you have that bottle to give you some kind of protection. Another thing that I didn't tell you about is when I go to line these up on those tall ones, I pull the line off 1 inch away on each side, and that allows me to just simply measure 1 inch and make sure that everything is 1 inch away. If you have it right against the forms and there's a form pushing out, it's gonna touch your line and then everything else is gonna be wrong. When I do these short forms like these, I simply bring the string line up about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and then I just eyeball it. You don't want the line touching anything when you're trying to make the form straight. So I just picked it up about 1 inch, and that allows me to see if the forms are straight. If not, I can push them in or out and before I nail the brace. So when you're doing the braces, that's when you're gonna ensure that everything's perfectly in line. And hopefully the guys that are gonna do the dirt work don't buff the forms too much. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double check my level, and I'm gonna put nails on the forms so the guys that are gonna do the dirt work can tell where the top of the foundation is going to be. All right, so now that I got all the nails on the forms, I'm gonna mark them with paint. I just want to make sure that they know that these nails are important, so that way when they show up, they're also very easy to spot. All right, now we are done. Well, not quite. I still have to clean up, but I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I was trying to get it all done in one show, but that didn't happen. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the effort, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you guys next time. We are Texas Barndominiums.